At one point, I wanted to be famous. Maybe I still do. What does fame even mean? What does famous even mean or meant? I think a lot of it came from wanting to be seen. Most people that want to be famous or become famous is from the need to be seen because they come from either broken homes or a childhood where they were neglected or they were not given the attention. Look at me, I exist. I think that's where it grew from. That's where it comes from, the need to be famous. I guess the beginning was for my music. I wanted to show my lyrics, show what I think, how I think. So that was a big reason why I thought I wanted to be famous. And why I say I thought or not fully convinced, not really saying like, oh, I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna be famous, is because it's not the biggest interest. I guess I do want to be known only if it's valuable to you. I guess that will mean something to me rather than just famous for just to be famous. I guess I'll have a better direction of the reasoning behind wanting to be famous. The best way I can explain that is that the purpose behind the fame, which through music or lyrics, poetry, poems, writing, I always felt I wanted to communicate something. Just you and me. So I think that's also a risky thing, to be famous without direction, right? Because I feel that's how people, as soon as they get there, they fall right back down. They can't sustain it because there is no structure. There is, no foundation. Either they got viral through something or because they know famous people, but who they are internally, the value they have or carry, just can't hold them up there. Or sometimes they might remain famous, but for the wrong reasons or for the bad publicity or for things that I wouldn't want to be famous for. And some people even embrace it, right? They say no, bad publicity is good publicity. As long as they have eyes on them, that's all that matters. So famous just to be known and seen, doesn't matter how. Healthy wise, the place you want to be in is, even if you're famous within your group, at least if you're known for your values, even if it's just the little community you're around with, that's big to be respected by your community, your tribe, your groups. When you leave an impact, because what they say, when some people get famous and they call it a 15 minutes of fame, for that reason that they're here today, gone tomorrow, no one remembers them. I guess if you're aiming to be famous is for the right reasons. I don't think you should even aim to be famous. Aim to provide value. And if you provide the good value, then it will get to different people. It'll naturally sell itself. Whether it's a product, whether it's your information, whether it's whatever it is that you're providing and it's of value, it will eventually get there. Because I work with different famous people. And one thing that I noticed, sometimes getting famous or getting known by being around famous people, it may feel good. I don't want to throw people under the bus. I gotta be careful with these words. Story time. When I dove into the video world, starting off, I was taking on different gigs because I was still learning. I was still trying to get out there and learn how to shoot, learn how to edit. Along that, I came across some people that were sort of in that world. They had connections with famous people or celebrities or whatever they call it, but known people, lots of following. And a lot of that I was shooting for free. For the reason, again, that I was learning, I was still figuring out my style, learning how to edit. So it was a lot of learning stuff where I was okay with doing it for free, because at the end, it was not for free. It was for my experience. So I was totally fine with doing it. But I also learned that in that world, it's expected to work for free, to be a kiss ass, to be thankful for knowing famous people. And it never sat well with me. I understand the reasoning or the psychology behind that, why it's somewhat of value to know famous people, because then by association you almost seem famous or look like you're high value because you're next to famous people. But it's just a perception, right? It's just what it looks like, because a lot of those famous people, they're pieces of shit. Following doesn't necessarily define you as who you are morally, who you are as what your character is. It doesn't define a person. Being famous on social media is a perception. It gives you value in the eyes of people that don't know you, in the eyes of people that just see the number next to you and assume because that number is high that your value is high, which in many cases it is. I'm not even trying to say it doesn't matter. But in the personal level, in the individual level, in the connection level, it's not always the case. Because then you would assume, let's cross connect. If we assume that everyone with high numbers, they're That's the goal. Get high numbers and then you become this perfect person. So then that means that every celebrity, every rich person, they're automatically great people. So many celebrities that are failing terribly in relationships, famous people failing, rich people failing. Even at that, they have the worst in the relationship life. So I guess the fame is just a pillar. It's a pillar of what you accomplish, not necessarily of who you are in its entirety. And it comes back to the beginning. Why famous? Ask yourself that question. Why you want the fame? To be seen. Then you got to understand what you're going to do with it, right? Because let's say tomorrow you blow up, you become famous, super famous. Do you know, are you going to know what to do with that? You got eyes on you. Who are you now? Are you able to be the same person you always been? Because now you're an influencer, right? Meaning that people are going to look up to you to almost as a role model to what most people want to be like. Because that's also signifies, right? If a lot of people follow you, it means that they somehow, somewhere want to be like you, or they like the life you live. So that's a deep question. If you're famous, are you able to maintain who you are? Are you going to change? Are you going to inspire? Are you going to use it for good, use it for bad? And I'm just talking to myself on this one, honestly. I didn't prepare for this one at all, but it's got me questioning all these things. But I guess I am in the right path because I like doing this. I like talking to you specifically. Yeah, you specifically. I like talking and connecting and figure out where we can relate and how we can improve our lives. How can we get better? What have we learned in the past? What can we learn from experiences? And how can we pass this knowledge to people for them to either learn from or have the information to avoid those mistakes? How can we be of help to the universe? That's what I want to be known for. And that's the message I would rather spread. Thanks for watching.